Hey, it's Sam, and I'm here talking about the full moon in Capricorn that's going to happen on July 19th. That's a Tuesday. And this full moon is actually also what's called Guru Purnima. This is the full moon in the month of Ashad. It happens in the summer usually. Well, it always happens in the summer actually, but it's often in the sign, the Rashi of Sagittarius, which is ruled by Jupiter. This year it's actually in Capricorn, which is the sign after. But it's called Guru Purnima. It's the full moon where we're to worship the Guru, or that's related to the Guru and the teacher and teachings. So you might think to yourself, well, Guru Purnima, Guru, what does that have to do with me? I don't have a guru. That's some Sanskrit Indian idea. It's like, come on, just why do you guys talk about this? Just what's the religion? How's that important to me? Well, I'm going to tell you, because guru is not just a Sanskrit Indian term. Okay, the word literally means heavy. That's one of the greatest definitions, is heavy. And it also means dispeller of darkness or remover of darkness. And it actually is those things those principles and those philosophies and those experiences in life that have taught us and that give us a philosophy. Okay, so again, it's those experiences that sink beneath the surface of the world and that allow us to remove the darkness in our mind by sinking deeply and going into the depths of our soul. And this is related to the planet Jupiter. His name is Guru. That's the entity. Jupiter is the entity that brings this concept into existence. That's why Jupiter is the biggest planet. It's the heaviest planet. And it's very interesting that we're celebrating Guru Purnima right now, and even Jupiter in the sky right now. We're getting a lot of information about Jupiter with this Juno probe circling Jupiter. And it's, Jupiter's very close to Rahu. So there's a lot of Jupiter, larger philosophical themes and, a backstory right now as well here in middle of July 2016. But to finish and to really allow you to understand what is really meant by the concept of guru. It's not just some religious figure and we're supposed to believe it and we're supposed to follow our guru's teachings on that day or some other thing, or we're supposed to honor the teachers. Yes, all of that's true. What it means though is that whatever your philosophies are about many things in life, of course that includes your philosophy about life itself, this is a day when astrologically it's very conducive for you to see the truth and get the truth and really understand and grow in wisdom, rather than just be a sort of preacher of some philosophy, but you kind of say one thing but you don't really do it so much. This is the way most people are with our philosophies and our beliefs and our religion. We sort of believe it, but we don't really put it so much into practice. And then life comes and kind of kicks us to the curb, and then we need to practice what we preach. And we have philosophies and beliefs about many things. Of course, we have a sort of religious belief, which basically is our philosophy about life in general, like what happens after we die and why we're all here. And that might be what you would call a religion or a higher philosophical belief. But then we also have philosophies and beliefs about money and relationships and work and family. We have beliefs about all kinds of things, and those beliefs come as a result of getting involved with those things, and then having some kind of failure, something doesn't work out. Then we have to figure out what the deeper meaning is behind that, and so we go looking for a higher purpose. Once we have a relationship that fails and they keep failing, instead of just, if we have any intelligence at all, we start looking at ourselves and trying to understand this thing more. And we develop a philosophy about it, a belief about it. Well, because men are this way and women are that way, so blah, blah, blah. And our philosophies are related to Jupiter, and then our opinions come out, which is Mars, to defend those philosophies. So you can tell what your beliefs are or you could see someone's beliefs by saying something that's against their beliefs, and then watch the Mars opinions come out to defend the beliefs. So these are what's called our teachings, and we get these teachings from gurus literally sometimes, like from teachers. Many people call me guru, Guruji, because I'm a teacher. That's what I do for a living. I'm not everyone's teacher, and but some people learn stuff from me, so I'm their teacher, but sometimes people don't, and I have teachers as well, and so sometimes people can learn astrology without a teacher at all. I had some teachers, but most of what I've really learned from astrology was my own applications of the teachings. So my teachers wind up being like Parashara and ones like that, even though there have been some people in this lifetime who have helped me at different stages, who were my teachers at different times. So again, it's not just teachings and texts and religious figures, but on Guru Purnima, it's learning the truth of our teachings, learning the truth behind our philosophies, no matter what they are. Your philosophies of religion, your philosophies about religion, your philosophies about relationships and career and other things. So it's the full moon. The moon is full on that day, and it's giving the full opportunity to really get what that thing means, to really get who that teacher is and what that teaching is in the highest sense. Rather than what we typically do, which is kind of bop around in some version of hypocrisy, frankly, around our teachings. So it's in Uttara Ashada Nakshatra, which literally means later victory or auspicious victory. And it's ruled by deities called the Vishwadevas, which are the universal gods. And those universal gods include things like time, which is Kala, action, which is karma, Kama, which is desire, Dharma, which is truth. And however much we put those things into practice, that's how much benefit we get in life. That's what guarantees our later victories in life. We have earlier victories which come more from things like nurturing and compassion. Later victories come from those larger universal themes as seen by the Vishwadevas. So your application of truth, your commitment to righteous action and consistent action, aligned with your highest desires and wishes, and the benefit of time will guarantee your later victory. So it's a very auspicious nakshatra for Guru Purnima. And like I said, it's also, this full moon is also in Capricorn. Capricorn comes after Sagittarius. Sagittarius is a sign of our hopes and philosophies, and Capricorn comes after because we need to make a commitment to those ideals and those principles and basically put them into practice. Not just believe them and feel good and again say, oh, I believe this, but then I do this. This is where hypocrisy comes in. And Sagittarius can be a sign of a lot of hypocrisy if we're not careful. This is why Capricorn comes next and shows the results and the karmas and the effort that we need to put forth to bring those things into fruition. So this is, that full moon is in Capricorn, where you may really notice where you're being a hypocrite, where your actions don't line up with your philosophies and your beliefs. It's that kind of Guru Purnima. It's that kind of full moon. It's not the Guru Purnima where we're so excited and so hopeful and inspired, which is when the Guru Purnima happens in Sagittarius. It's the Guru Purnima when we notice the difference between our beliefs and our practices. So this is a great day for you to really put into practice what you preach. And again, that nakshatra Uttarashada is the one that goes between Sagittarius and Capricorn. The nakshatras that bridge the signs show the principle from one to the next. So implementing those things I said, taking your principles and your beliefs and philosophies out of the ethers, out of the abstract, and bringing them into the concrete world of action, perseverance, determination is important. And that's an important lesson for the next 30 days psychologically and emotionally. That's what the full moons are. Now, in addition, looking down at the chart here, we also have a very close Mercury-Venus conjunction in Cancer at that time, and they're also joining the Sun, so a lot of Cancer energy. This full moon in Capricorn is balancing the Cancer energy, which is about the heart and really connecting to the heart, really feeling that deeper intuitive sense. And again, Cancer is kind of an irrational sign. Capricorn is very rational and sensible. So harmonizing that desire for emotional union with the practical boundaries of life is going to be important. But it's also very devotional to have Sun, Mercury, Venus, and Cancer, at this time. Having Sun, Mercury, Venus in Cancer opens up a lot of devotional possibilities, so really connecting to the heart and feeling intuitively what's true and having the courage to unravel it will be important. And the other things, we have Jupiter, Rahu are very close in Leo right now. We have this satellite up in the sky. Juno is very close to Jupiter right now. A lot of breakthroughs about the big planet right now. You want to check that out. Look online to see what they're finding out about Jupiter. And Jupiter is Guru. He is the Guru, and he's the big heavy planet, and that heaviness again allows us to sink beneath the surface of the world into the depth of our teachings, into the depth and meaning of our teachings, what they really mean. So Jupiter, Rahu are now in Leo, and it's showing these philosophies and principles that we have individually and collectively. Huge changes in politics and geopolitics, and we see a lot of it in the U.S. with the presidential race and the recent vote in the U.K. Canada elected a prime minister last year who was very much a young and sort of progressive candidate. In the U.S., we're going back and forth between some hardliners, and UK just had a big vote. So this is all Jupiter in Leo themes. So this is a big backdrop behind this Guru Purnima, and what kind of teachings we also are interested in globally. And our individuality in relationship to the collective is being really, pondered by all of us. And of course, we also recently just had Mars go back into Scorpio with Saturn. So Mars and Saturn are now in Scorpio together. Again, it could be revisiting some of the more, intense issues from earlier in the year. Globally, and again, socially, we're seeing a lot of potential, social unrest and social themes with Mars, Saturn, and Scorpio trying to improve social situations and also personal ones. One of the great things about that Saturn, Mars, and Scorpio is it's where we're going to bring a lot of energy and passion into destroying our emotional weaknesses and vulnerabilities, because both Mars and Saturn want to destroy things that are making us weak, and they're in Scorpio, which is also our emotional vulnerabilities. So I'm going to be talking about this full moon, this Guru Purnima now for all 12 signs for my members. I do have a new revamped membership site that also has twice weekly live video check-ins with me. There's also 3 fantastic bonus courses that you get, about 8 hours of courses. You also get these full moon and new moon forecasts, that's sun forecast and moon forecast for your sign as well. A lot of stuff that you can check out. There's a link on this page. I really recommend that you try it. Only 50 cents. You can try it for 2 weeks and see if you like it. See if you like being part of the group. It's also, we have a Facebook group now, private Facebook group, about 50, 60 members already in that. We're getting close to 100 members. I'm going to cut it off at some point, so if it's still available, go ahead and do it. But this is really important for you to understand how this Guru Purnima, how you can really implement your teachings with a lot of integrity for the next 30 days based on your sign, because this Guru Purnima is going to be different for Aries than it's going to be for Pisces, than it's going to be for Libra, and you need to know that. And again, this is really some of the most important stuff to know about yourself astrologically. People want to focus on the micro thing in their chart and think that's the most important thing. It's actually not. Most of the time, day to day, year to year, moment to moment, these are the things that are most prevalent in your day-to-day life. These are the things that are changing kind of like every day or every month or every couple weeks in your life, where the planets are moving and how they relate to you. So these sun and moon cycles relative to your sign is much more important than you realize. Certainly much more important than, let's say, your chart and you're like, well, what does it mean that I have K2 over here with that? Usually that's something that's deep and psychological, or something that's not at the forefront of your consciousness like all the time, and changing the world that you live in and showing the changes that you're going through moment to moment. This is how I use astrology, and this is how my members also stay up to date. So I invite you to do that as well. Besides that, this is going to be a great opportunity for you to really, land in deeper integrity with your teachings and your philosophies of all sort. Again, get out of the idea that guru is some Sanskrit idea or that it's so hard to understand, and blessings of your guru. Well, I don't have a guru, so that means I don't get any blessings. You do have a guru. You have philosophies, you believe in things, you have principles, you have people you admire. Maybe they're not that admirable. Maybe that's one of the problems in your life, is you're not aspiring to higher teachings. You're not following great wisdom teachings and great wisdom traditions. So now's the time for you to start doing it. Again, and then if you're not doing that, notice your mind saying, oh yeah, well, teachers are all this. I think it's just this. And you have some philosophy instead of a guru, instead of good teachings, instead of pure wisdom, you have some other philosophy about it. Well, that other philosophy is your guru. And you got it from somewhere, you didn't get it. See, this last thing, this is one of the things about the mind that people don't actually like to understand. There are no new thoughts. All of our thoughts are borrowed. My thoughts are borrowed from other things I've heard, from other teachers, other things. Everything you think is original is not. You're an original being because they kind of clunk around in you in a way that's never happened, but no thoughts are original. They're all borrowed. So all these ideas that you might have that, oh, well, I don't need a guru because of this or that, if you're having that, and we all have it on some level. We all think, well, I've learned enough, now I'm just going to listen to myself and do what I think is right. This is what we do. We take that into life, and then when that doesn't work, because it doesn't invariably, that's called the ego, and when the ego fails, we look for a higher teaching. We look for something higher than just the ego that thinks it's right and got it all figured out. So again, the big promise of this Guru Purnima is seeing that process, for sure, and seeing, how's that working out for you? How are all these ideas you have and all these philosophies working out? Some way, in some areas, I'm sure they're working out great, and others, I'm sure they're not. So, again, if you want to see how this affects your chart as well, based on your rising sign, which is incredibly important, then you can also try out the member site. Other than that, have a happy Guru Purnima.